It's every student's dream, a college bar where the drink is free. Now one London university has spent £20,000 to investigate why people get drunk.
So this is a bar facility that's been developed in the psychology labs at London South Bank University, and the reason that we've developed this facility is to build upon the research that we do, looking at the effects of alcohol, but also looking at the factors that motivate people's drinking. What we're really trying to do is simulate, with a greater deal of control, the sort of environment in which people find themselves drinking ordinarily. So this is somewhere in between being able to do research in the real world in a bar, where we have obviously very little control over what's going on, and doing alcohol-based research in an ordinary lab cubicle, which is obviously nothing like the way people are drinking in the real world. So.
The bar's hidden away in a former laboratory room. Spirits, wine and beer are all available.
It was relatively inexpensive. The total cost of the bar will be less than £20,000. I mean, the university's recently been redeveloping our lab facilities anyway, and so we've done it on the back of that. But really, we're just talking about decorating a room in our lab facility. So it's relatively low cost to be able to produce a facility like this. Is actually extraordinarily useful for the sort of research that we do.
Are the students getting drunk?
No, it depends on the studies that we're doing. A lot of the work that we do involves giving people non-alcoholic drinks, but leading them to believe that they contain alcohol. A lot of the early work that we've been doing isn't so much interested in the effects of alcohol once people are intoxicated, but trying to understand the factors that motivate people to drink in certain ways, and particularly how they initiate a night out when they're drinking. Of course, there are studies that we'll do that involve administering alcohol to people so that we can look at what happens later on through a night. But there's certainly a big lack of research in the area looking at the sort of period just before a person actually begins drinking. So very often in the studies that we're carrying out, it's not necessary to give people real alcohol. It's surprisingly easy to convince people that what they're drinking is an alcoholic beverage.
Students analyse the results and test to see how alcohol affects decision making. There's been no shortage of volunteers.
I did enjoy having my dissertation around alcohol, only because it's easy to get other students in as well to participate if you tell them that alcohol is involved. Even though we use non-alcoholic drinks, I didn't tell anyone that. But yeah, it is definitely interesting to do research in drinking, because obviously my social group and myself, we all drink a lot, so you know, you can see the findings in your day-to-day life.
Girls are facing each other, and we're going to go for
my dissertation last year on the effects of responsible drinking messages and whether they actually have an effect on people's drinking. And what we found was that people actually drink more when they're presented with responsible drinking messages before a little taste task or something that you give them that makes them think that they're not being measured on their drinking.
I think this is a really innovative idea. We're particularly interested in understanding consumer behaviour and the psychology behind consumer behaviour. So being able to conduct experiments in the pub environment, we think is going to be hugely valuable.
With even a real-life fruit machine, it's a decent bet this will become the most popular bar on campus.